Hi, my name is Amber O'Quinn. I'm the Individual Placement Coordinator for the Utah Conservation Corps. I'm here today to welcome you to the Individual Placement Program with the UCC and introduce you to a couple of platforms that will help you be successful throughout your term. The first is IPT, where you will track your hours. The second is My.AmeriCorps, that we will onboard and exit you from your term. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me after this orientation. Thanks and welcome to the UCC. Who do you belong to? AmeriCorps. AmeriCorps is a national service program funded at the federal level. This funding assists local programs like the UCC to support AmeriCorps service positions that address local community needs. The Utah Conservation Corps is a state AmeriCorps program that supports positions related to conservation and stewardship, environmental education, and sustainability. Your individual service site. Utah Conservation Corps has partnered with your individual site as a place for our AmeriCorps members to serve. These partnerships are based on common goals. You are serving as a Utah Conservation Corps individual placement AmeriCorps member, joining thousands of other AmeriCorps members across the country to make positive impacts in your community. Locally through UCC, you serve with your host site to accomplish important goals related to environmental stewardship and education. So thank you so much for your service. Utah Conservation Corps is a state AmeriCorps program. You have committed to an AmeriCorps term of service with the Utah Conservation Corps. You will receive a living allowance and you will receive a Siegel AmeriCorps Education Award upon successful completion of your term. The Member Service Agreement, or MSA, is an official document that outlines the terms and provisions of your UCC AmeriCorps service. It's found on IPT, which we'll go over in a minute. It includes the service term dates, living allowance information, which is found on the PDF attachment near the bottom of the MSA form, prohibited activities, and the requirements to receive the education award. Please read through and reference this document and let the UCC office know if you have any questions. The IP manual. You must read, sign, and submit the manual certification page found in the appendix of your manual. It is due within 2 weeks of your start date. Review the forms and documents due dates reference page and make sure to add these to your calendars with reminders. And refer to your manual when you have questions first. Living allowance and service hours. Your living allowance is a set total amount evenly dispersed through your term based on original term dates and your minimum service hour commitment. Payments are the same each pay date. This is not an hourly wage. It is your responsibility to stay on track to complete your hour requirement by your end date. We may adjust your end date, but we can't extend or change your payment schedule. If you have any hours that are left when you have reached your end date, we can extend your end date, but you won't get any more payments. So that's just an important thing to note. Living allowance payments. Your living allowance payments are made on the 10th and 25th of the month via direct deposit through the Utah State University payroll system. Living allowance payments are subject to tax withholdings. Log on to USU Banner, ssb.banner.usu.edu to find your electronic pay stubs, direct deposit information, tax information, including your W-2 at the end of the year. Contact me as soon as possible if you have seen that you've missed a payment. Contact USU Payroll to make direct deposit or W-4 changes. So USU Employee Portal. You will go to banner.usu.edu and you will select down on the bottom left, it shows the Banner SSB/access link. That will take you to the Banner login. Or the Utah State University Employee Portal. You will log in using your Utah State University A number and your strong password. You'll need to set up your password at myid.usu.edu. Suspension of term. Your term of service may be suspended for compelling personal circumstances. The living allowance and other benefits are suspended for the duration of your term suspension. The suspension extends the time frame you may complete your term of service, so your end date will move. Notify your site supervisor and the UCC office to evaluate and initiate your suspension. So go ahead and call me or email me, letting me know that this is something that you're interested in doing or that you're going to need to do. You cannot serve multiple AmeriCorps terms of service concurrently. So if you have a term of suspension, you cannot go work for another AmeriCorps program. Early release from a term of service. The UCC and host sites will follow disciplinary policies and procedures if needed to release a member from service. If early release occurs, termination of living allowance and other benefits are effective immediately. Eligibility to receive the education award is forfeited if a member is dismissed or leaves their term of service early or does not fulfill service requirements. Exceptions apply in situations of compelling personal circumstances, so please work closely with the UCC staff if you have a compelling personal circumstance. Exiting procedure. To successfully complete and exit the AmeriCorps term of service, you must have the following documentation submitted and approved by your end date. Number 1, service hours found on IPT totaling at least the minimum number of service hours defined in your service agreement. Number 2, your exit form found on IPT. Number 3, AmeriCorps exit form on My.AmeriCorps. Number 4, final progress and demographics report. Number 5, evaluations. The midterm is required by the 900, 1200, and 1700 members only, but everyone is required to do a final evaluation. Number 6, UCC end of term survey. So check in with me or UCC staff member as you approach the end of your service term so we can initiate that exiting procedure for you. Siegel Education Award, how to obtain it. You will fulfill your term of service, which means the minimum number of hours, term dates, etc., listed on your member service agreement. Complete the exiting procedure that we just went over, and then access and direct your award through your My.AmeriCorps portal. That will allow you to direct whatever funds you have available in there to the institution of your choosing, to an eligible institution. When you do choose to use your education award, you can use them on federal student loans, future accredited schooling or training program, to verify whether the institution you're interested in attending accepts the AmeriCorps Education Award. Check on the website listed there. And also your education award is good for 7 years. So that's pretty awesome. You can do a couple of AmeriCorps service terms before you actually utilize your education award if you wanted to. So for your information, AmeriCorps terms and education award limits. So listed on the top of the screen there are the different AmeriCorps terms of service, so the lengths of those service. And the amount of the education award that you will receive. This changes every year, so you can see the terms that are listed on the AmeriCorps website. In your lifetime, you can do a total of 4 state and national terms of service, so you can have 4 total. You're eligible to enroll and complete these. You will not receive an education award beyond 2 total AmeriCorps terms, but you can still enroll in those terms. So you can receive 2 full-time education awards. That is cumulative of all the AmeriCorps terms. If you've maxed out on your education award, so say your first 2 terms are full 1,700-hour terms, you can still enroll in more terms, but you're just going to receive that 2 full-time education award. You can go on to a minimum time, like do another 300 or do two more 1700-hour terms. But you will not, on the second two terms, if you have maxed out the two full-time education awards, you won't receive any more beyond the two full-time education awards. So enroll in longer terms of service to obtain the full MSY before completing the 4 terms of service. So you wouldn't want, or it wouldn't be of maximum benefit to enroll in 4 different 300-hour terms of service. But you can totally do that. It's just up to you and how you want to utilize or make the most of your education award. So National Criminal History Check is required for all AmeriCorps members. You must be fingerprinted at an approved site with live scan services, and they will submit fingerprints digitally. A UCC policy summary: no murder convictions, sex offender convictions, or other convictions that pose a risk to UCC, the public, and the participants. A member may be dismissed at the discretion of UCC staff and or host site supervisor if these things are reported on the background check. If you receive some sort of conviction during your term, it needs to be disclosed immediately. It is required as of your terms of service or as per your terms of service. If something is going to appear on your records, you must disclose it to the UCC office. Health insurance. Access to health insurance can be sought through the healthcare.gov marketplace. This is an available option to all AmeriCorps placements. You must enroll within 60 days of your start date. Utilize healthcare.gov services and resources. Exclusive to the 1,700-hour members is a medical and dental coverage up to $100 a month. These premiums are the $100 a month comes from the UCC and is available only to full-time members. Please note that if you're enrolled in a healthcare plan at the commencement of your AmeriCorps term of service, the UCC is unable to reimburse any associated costs. If you have a current medical plan and elect to enroll in a dental plan through the marketplace as an AmeriCorps member, UCC is unable to reimburse costs of the dental plan. So these are just some benefits that are available, but also some limitations. Childcare. Childcare is available for full-time 1,700-hour AmeriCorps members. Please contact me for more information and eligibility requirements. AmeriCorps Member Assistance Program. This is a resource that's available to all members 24/7. More information can be found in the UCC IP Google Resources folder. And also make sure you jot down this number below on the screen. You can contact them for personal or professional assistance. In addition to the AmeriCorps Assistance Program, there's a new interactive portal called My Life Expert. The My Life Expert app and website offer articles, videos, worksheets, and more resources related to financial and legal, family and education, health and wellness, career and military, and everyday living, and much more. They also offer health and lifestyle assessments. To access this resource, use the company code AmeriCorps and follow the instructions in the activation email. You can also find this information in the IP Resources Google Drive. Additional benefits. You may be eligible for the following as an AmeriCorps member: food stamps. They are not available if you are currently a student. The UCC will provide a verification letter. Please contact me if you are interested in getting food stamps. The application is done through the Utah Department of Workforce Services in downtown Logan, or the closest Department of Workforce Services office near your site. Student loan forbearance on qualifying loans apply through this for this benefit and student loan interest accrual payback through the My.AmeriCorps.gov account. Policies and procedures. You are responsible for reading the full policies and procedures included in your UCC Individual Placement AmeriCorps Manual. You will be held accountable to these in your AmeriCorps service role. Sign and submit your handbook certification by the second week of your service. So some prohibited activities, just some highlights I want to note. There is a full list of prohibited activities in your manual, so you are required to read that. But just a few things I wanted to mention right now. As an AmeriCorps member, you may not do the following on AmeriCorps time: political advocacy / lobbying, etc., leading religious activities, and providing direct benefit to a for-profit entity, labor union, etc. So another policy that I do want to note is that whenever you're doing service, you do need to be wearing AmeriCorps approved kind of swag or something that says AmeriCorps, and you will be provided that gear when you in the first couple of weeks that you're onboarded. All right, so two important websites. IPT on the left-hand side there, this is your portal where you will log your hours. It is managed by the UCC. And then on the right, My.AmeriCorps, this is managed by the National AmeriCorps office. So if you have problems with IPT, we can help you directly. If you need assistance with My.AmeriCorps, they have a really responsive 1-800 number that's listed on the front page there. What is IPT? Your official AmeriCorps member file for this particular AmeriCorps term of service. So this is specific to the UCC. You will record your service hours, manage enrollment forms, and other documentation here. You will have different IPT accounts if you participate in more than one UCC or Utah State AmeriCorps program as an AmeriCorps member. So contact the UCC if you need help with IPT. So an overview or intro of IPT, the website is www.runipt.com. You will have an organization ID, which is UCOVAC. Your username and password will be chosen and set by you. You have an IPT account that stores required information for this UCC AmeriCorps term. IPT is a secure and confidential site. This is your official UCC AmeriCorps record, which is important for you to receive all the benefits associated with AmeriCorps. That is a screenshot of your account page. What IPT is for. So you will keep your contact information up to date on the student detail page. If we need to contact you, this is where we go to get that information. Completing, signing, and storing your AmeriCorps enrollment forms, member service agreement, enrollment form, reporting, signing, and tracking your service hours, connecting your profile with UCC staff and your site supervisor to form a service hour, for forms and service hour approvals. And that is a screenshot of the student detail page. Service hour records or timesheets. So we're going to go over how to fill one out and how to submit and sign them. Service hour timesheets are submitted monthly through IPT. So you will every day go in and document your hours by logging into IPT, but you need to submit them once a month before the 5th of the month. So follow these instructions to properly document hours. Number 1, click into the forms section of your IPT site. Number 2, access a particular service hour record using the view link. And you'll see that red circle there, identifying the view link. Parts of a service hour record. So one part is the date, so making sure that you record your hours on the appropriate date. The checkboxes that best describe your daily service activities. So you need to select all that apply: member development and training, for example, volunteer recruitment, coordination, or management, no hours served, environmental education. And then when you've selected all of the ones that you've done, you need to record the specific hours in the right-hand columns. So you have member development, direct services, fundraising, and then it'll calculate a total for you. So if you've selected the member development training, you need to make sure that that correlates the hours that you've put into the member development column, correlate with that. And then say you've selected direct services, go ahead and add those hours in there as well. You do not need to do all of them in one day. Maybe that's obvious, but just to clarify. Service hour descriptions. The drop-down menu has predetermined service descriptions that you must use. Choose the one that best relates to your day-to-day service activities. Keep in mind that we don't create these options. Our partnership with the National AmeriCorps Organization, our agreement says we will use these service activity titles. So just choose the one, do your best to choose the one that best correlates with what you've done. So we'll just describe them now. So your descriptions are, number one, member development and or training. So record in column 1, member development. Only record member development / training hours in this column. These are activities that you do within your position where you are being trained or educated. Record hours in the member development column on the date you are receiving this UCC AmeriCorps orientation. So after you're done here, you can go in, if you're done with the day and you're going to go record your hours, you will record however long it took you to complete this orientation, and you'll make sure to check member development and training and then put the specific amount of hours that you spent doing that. Member development can account for a maximum of 20% of your total service hours. Alrighty, so option number 2, service hour descriptions. So these are direct service, environmental education, volunteer recruitment, coordination and management, habitat restoration, trail construction / maintenance. This is column 2, direct services. So the hours for any of these activities must be recorded in the direct services column. Treat these categories very inclusively. All services you do at your site should be described as one or more of the following options, or more of those 4 options listed above. Direct service hours must account for at least 70% of your hours. By default, you should record hours as direct service. Completing an SHR, or service hour record. So after you have throughout the month recorded your hours every day, breaking up, choosing the aforementioned categories, you will then, before the 5th of the month, go in and do the following steps. You'll click to electronically sign at the end of the month. The form will lock for editing once signed. Your site supervisor will receive an email that your service hour record is ready for review and approval. They must sign off on the hours. If your site supervisor finds anything that needs to be corrected, they will write it in this box. The bottom arrow links to the box. Your signature will be cleared and you will receive an email prompting the corrections. So, service hour rules. Record hours daily and click save on the form. Set a reoccurring reminder or put it on your daily schedule that you need to make sure to do this. So just make that habitual a practice that you do every single day. Complete and sign service hour forms and progress reports by the 5th of the following month. So again, set a reminder, put this on your schedule. The site supervisor or UCC will approve or send back for corrections. Contact me if you need to make corrections after your site supervisor has signed your service hour record, and then everything will be cleared and we'll send it back to you and it'll just need to go through again. Do not record hours ahead of time. That's really important. So again, make sure that you're putting all of your reminders in your phone or however you keep track of your daily tasks so that you stay on top of this stuff, because it's really important. Thank you in advance. So IPT dashboard feature, you will access your dashboard on your student detail page, and this dashboard displays your cumulative hours count toward your minimum hours requirement. So it also gives you an average of hours per week that you need to put in to reach your hours requirement by your end date. Please note that the hours per week is only accurate if you're up to date on your recording your hours. So again, make sure that you're going in every single day at the end of the day and putting in the hours for the day. What is My.AmeriCorps for? So My.AmeriCorps.gov is your official AmeriCorps service history file. No matter where in the nation you work as an AmeriCorps member, there will be a record of it here. So it also certifies your enrollment and exit in each particular AmeriCorps term, requesting student loan forbearance and interest accrual payback benefits, directing your Siegel Education Award money, so to an institution of what that you choose, or if you need to apply it to loans, that's how you do it through this portal. Access your 1099 and miscellaneous tax forms. And then contact the National Service Hotline for help with My.AmeriCorps at 1-800-942-2677. They are very responsive and very helpful, so don't hesitate to call that number if you're having a rough time with that website or anything. Proper documentation of your service is a critical component of your position. You are asked to document the following: enrollment forms, service hours, quantitative data, and qualitative data. This is important for showing the impact to the community, your status as an AmeriCorps, and successfully completing your term. And this also helps us secure future UCC funding and AmeriCorps funding. So thank you so much for your service, and thank you also for your commitment to putting these things in on time every time. All right, Google Drive. Progress and demographics reports must be reported every month, and you will report the following: the number of community volunteers you mobilized, the number of hours those volunteers were served, number of K through 12 students you performed environmental education and outreach with, number of adults 18 and over that you performed environmental education outreach with, 3 to 4 sentences describing the significant service activity or accomplishment from that month. So again, making sure that every day that you're doing your service, you're keeping track of this, and you'll have a progress spreadsheet that you can download to your computer or even print out, whatever works best for you, on the Google Drive. So optional, you are the age demographics of the volunteers and photos. We love having photos. If you have some photos to share, please don't hesitate to create a Google folder and share that with me, and then I can use those photos on our social media or in reports to our grants. They love that. So thank you so much in advance for submitting your photos. Alrighty, so your progress and demographics tracking form. So you will find this on your Google Drive that will be shared with you. You'll record ongoing totals in this spreadsheet. You'll store and save this document in the UCC IP Google Drive folder, or you can just download it onto your desktop. You will submit this once a month. And that arrow just shows the submit monthly numbers via this link. So it's just found in that spreadsheet, and you'll also get a reminder email most likely. Okay, so this is what the progress and demographics report form looks like. Report monthly totals from your spreadsheet. So you'll input your monthly totals from your spreadsheet, as well as your great stories. So you'll have every month a great story that you make sure to document. And this is just when you have had kind of an aha moment, or a participant in one of your programs has had an aha moment or a particularly inspiring time, and make sure to jot that down. I know that sometimes we kind of get into our daily tasks and our requirements for the day, and we'll forget to document those moments. But do your best to write those down. Just take a couple notes so you don't forget. Okay, yeah, and the last point on that page is find the form link on your tracking sheet, which I mentioned before. Alrighty, so pre and post survey methodology one. So if you're performing environmental education, for example, with school groups, camps, community workshops, you'll need to conduct a pre and post survey to assess whether or not the participants gained knowledge about the environmental topic as a result of you educating them. The following resources are available on the UCC IP Google Drive to guide you through planning for these pre and post assessments. So it's the 2020 UCC pre-post survey methodology, and that needs to be submitted within 2 weeks of after your start date. And if you need help or have any questions with filling that out, please don't hesitate to contact me. So pre and post survey methodology 2. So due within the first 2 weeks of your start date, you'll need to submit your methodology report to the UCC office to keep on file so that we know how you intend to carry out your pre and post surveys. The easiest way to do this is just email me. And again, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. UCC does not need to collect individual pre or post surveys. You will record that information on your progress and demographics report. So hopefully when you're meeting with your site supervisors, you guys can kind of develop a plan to help you conduct these pre and post surveys. And again, if you need help doing that, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. We want you guys to feel confident jumping into this. So don't feel like if you're feeling uneasy about this, don't feel like you need to continue in that space. Go ahead and reach out and we can talk about it and make sure that you're feeling good about your pre and post survey methodologies, because it's not intended to be complicated. The UCC does not, I already read that, sorry. So the UCC needs to know how many people you engaged in environmental education monthly, how many of these folks reported increased knowledge through your pre or post survey method monthly, and you record these numbers on the progress and demographics reporting spreadsheet and then submit them through, again, the Google Drive form. So action. Add the following to your calendar with reminders. So read and sign the handbook within 2 weeks of your start date. Add the documents and due dates found in your handbook. Timesheets and progress reports are due by the 5th of every month. So again, make sure you add that to your calendar with a reminder. And then also add when you and your site supervisors have update meetings. So when you guys or scheduled to meet, or if you guys haven't talked about a regular meeting time, go ahead and reach out to your supervisor and say, hey, when can we schedule regular update meetings so I can share my data with you and my data process with you? Yeah, and just check in about your needs and their needs with each other. And thank you. Thank you for completing this training and for committing to a term of service with the Utah Conservation Corps and your service site. Please reach out to me if you have any questions regarding this information or regarding your AmeriCorps term of service. My name is Amber O'Quinn. My email is listed there. And thank you so much for helping us achieve our mission, which is to develop the conservation leaders of tomorrow. We could not do this without you, and we are here to help you in your leadership capacity. So please reach out to us and let us know how we can do that better. Have a great service term, and we will be in touch soon.